Okay, well, I am Dr. David Baker Hargrove, and I am a local psychotherapist. I grew up a stereotypically closed-minded gay boy, circuit party and blah, 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 and I thought that, men in wigs were great for performing or for Halloween, but really not to parlay that into a reason to live. And it certainly never occurred to me that someone who was born a girl could actually live as a man. But that all changed for me about 12 years ago, very early into my psychologist career, when I was contacted by a young man who expressed to me a desire to change his gender from male to female. Now I am proud to be associated with the trans community, and I like to fancy myself as a champion for trans people everywhere. I've certainly seen over the last 25 to 30 years of my adulthood how through visibility, being gay and lesbian is increasingly becoming less of an issue, sort of like being left-handed. So it is my hope that in my lifetime that I can see that also happen for transgender people. But the only way that that can happen is to take the lessons learned from the gay community, as we have taken our lessons that we learned from the black community before us in their fight for civil rights. You have to be visible, you have to be proud, you have to stand together, and you must never forget those that you've lost along the way.
She brings the transgender voice to many organizations, many groups. Our local HRC, MBA, has many other leadership roles in our community. She holds education and wellness fairs for us. She has been willing to personally put her life on display to increase education and understanding for all of our lives. And now I would like to thank Gina Duncan for being an incredibly wonderful role model for us all.
On behalf of Come Out Orlando, Passage, the Center, and our UCF transgender community, we would like to recognize Mr. Michael Freeman.
Tonight, the person I want to recognize actually isn't here, but in her absence, I would like to speak on Miss Jessica Munnings. My very first trans support meeting, I spoke up that transitioning was in the near future, and I had yet to identify as transgender. When I first talked to her, I was really honestly scared about talking to my family and my friends about coming out. Jessica was the very first person to tell me her whole story. I heard everything from her wife and her family to some people she hadn't seen in 3 or 4 years, even her military background. With tonight in mind and appreciation in mind, I would like to just give an applause for Miss Jessica Munnings.
So some of you here tonight may not have been aware of all the heroes that we have among us. There's so many more that are not being recognized tonight. And every one of you showing up here tonight is a hero. Every transgender person who has the courage to live their lives honestly is a hero. Every transgender person who is willing to walk through another day is a hero. It's really important that we show up for each other and be a hero for each other. I want to thank you all for being my hero.
When I often tell him how impressed I continually am with his ability to help our homeless youth, his reply is always, well, I'm just fortunate to be able to do these things because I don't really have a job. Well, he does have a job, and that's being guardian angel to many of the LGBT youth who, without his help, might have been further victims of violence or self-destructive behaviors. And so for his many efforts in the community, we honor Jay Green. Yeah.
I'm still Jake. And thank you, and I think I'm mad at you for making me emotional.
The center has been here for a long time. It has provided a home for so many people, and it is for us, when we created our group and we met at Stardust and we met at Panera and we met at whatever restaurant we were going to meet at that day, and we realized to have a group, we kind of need a central location. And who is the center of the gay community is the center, the LGBT center. But no one ever calls it that because that's just too long a name. So we all just be like, oh, we're going to the center. Thank you guys for giving us a home. And this truly feels like a home to us. And it's so necessary. Thank you. Kay Brady and Randy Stevens, if you could please come up to accept your awards.
Now, I gotta tell you, I literally spent days staring at that flashing cursor on my screen thinking about what I'm gonna say about Dr. Dave. I mean, where do I start? He's put 11 years into the local Metropolitan Business Association. He's made Orlando Pride what it is today. He's honorably served our country in the U.S. Navy. He's a brilliant therapist, a huge trans advocate, so far as I'm concerned, an honorary trans man. He's got calves of steel and a big heart. But those are just the facts, ladies and gentlemen. More importantly is what Dr. Dave means to me. When I was first starting out in transition, I had no one. I didn't have any friends, my family wasn't supportive, but Dr. Dave was there. When I was positive I couldn't make it, he was there. When I needed my ass kicked into gear, well, he was there too. He is one outstanding human being, and as I once told him, I would count myself lucky if I became half the man he is. I think I speak for all of us up here when I say that we love him like a father. It is with great pride and appreciation that we present the certificate to Dr. David Baker Hargrove.
Let me just tell you all the significance of this. If you haven't, if those of you haven't been to the karaoke show, is that when I have foam rock guitars, and so when some of the people sing and there's a guitar solo, I play the foam guitar. So they got me some new instruments for my foam band. You guys are silly.
We love you, Daddy. There are not enough words to express how much we appreciate each and every one of you who are here tonight and each and every one of you who work hard every day. Thank you.